All right, so we teased you guys a little bit with this truck. I think it was on TikTok. I don't think it was on YouTube. Back to normal now. I'll start getting a little more organized and not missing the different content for different pages. But this K30, I said, guys, look at this video. I kind of walked around like this and I said, what is it that makes this truck unique? And Alvin's working on kind of cleaning it up, other than the Grandpa Camper Show, which is spoken for. Got a perfect plan for that. What do you guys see on this truck that is super duper unusual, rare option? And again, we haven't put any paint under here, so if you guys want to squawk about undercarriages, look at that. Even the little triangles are in good shape. This was a West Coast truck. It is a big block K30. I think it's 86. 454, 7.4 with all of its emissions. So this will be an awesome California truck. But throw it in the comments. I'll give the answer at the end of the video. I will give the answer at the end of the video because I will forget, and then you guys will be commenting and asking, but I want y'all to know. I like y'all learning, but this one has a super rare option that I have just shown multiple things in this video about. Well, we have returned back from Bloomsburg Jamboree 4x4 truck show. And actually everything is safe and sound. Not that we didn't have a couple hurdles along the way with weather, which was super unfortunate because that vehicle and this vehicle had never been in the rain. And everything went really well. We only had a couple little boo-boos. We lost one little cap for one of these fender flares. One of the pieces of mirror came down. And the trucks are not so filthy. We rinsed them back off. They're not too bad, but it's just unfortunate when you got to go clean all this stuff, how hard it is to do. So it's just the trials and tribulations of things that happen. Oh, we did have one little bolt mount came out of the exhaust. We gotta get that fixed, but all in all, successful trip. And brought back the blue truck here. This is not for sale. This is the Lynch family's truck. We're adding a rear hanger system to get rid of the block. Gonna clean up the trim around the windshield. Change that out. Retorque, grease, any other items they want done. Considering upgrading the air conditioning system. So whatever they have on their to-do list, we'll knock out. But a beautiful square body crew cab, and we were able to deliver them their new Suburban that got finished. So that worked out really well. And a load of questions and customers about every single thing that the off-road shop does and everything that we do here at the dealership. So it was great. And the best part about that truck show, is the people there get it. They're not the keyboard warriors. They're not the ones hoping and wishing for things that are never going to happen. They are realistic. I don't know what's going on there. People with realistic expectations, and the amount of people that appreciated what we do was monumental. I mean, it just absolutely makes it all worthwhile. Just the time and effort, and I'll go into a full video about it. I'm not gonna get long-winded about it today because it's a busy Monday, but to take, let's just say, to develop an item, and it takes 100 hours for the shop, for Brian and Daniel to dedicate to making that item and making that item right. That's 100 hours of non-build time. Now, yes, that part will eventually sell, but it takes a long time to recoup that kind of lost revenue when the shop's already booked out for months and months and months and months solid with work. So the people that came up and appreciate it, whether they buy a product or not, just showing the appreciation of the old school things, bringing back the old school stuff was just amazing. And that's the kind of respect that makes things really, really, really worthwhile, because you guys are who we're doing it for. So I'm gonna get across the road. We got a K30 I want to show you guys. I want to riddle your brain, and then I've got the Verizon or yeah, I think it's Verizon. We already had Comcast come. Now we got Verizon here putting in the service next door, and the sign is done. I'll show you that in just a second. Look at there, guys. The second part of the sign is done, and it lights up beautiful at night. Looks super cool with the Stars and Stripes truck in the background too. Now we got a new arrival tow truck, 16 ton. AJ's getting some caps put on it and getting it photographed. We'll have to get the wheels polished up, but it's a 38,000 mile, 16 ton Century. That beautiful sound right there is a big block. You guys recognize this truck. It was very popular. It has sold, but in selling it, there were some things that the customer wanted to do and ended up actually having a hose rupture because it was rubbing on the actual fan of the alternator. So we got to clean up. You can hear the belt squawking a little bit. We got to clean up some antifreeze. And then the brake system is getting a brake booster added, an electric vacuum booster, I guess you would say. But listen to that thing purr right there, guys. That is a great sound. Black Cherry 72. She sounds good. Black Cherry 72 short bed, big block air conditioned truck. This thing this morning couldn't have been more perfect. When we were doing our initial check-in, it was facing the color rear view mirror was facing the flag flying. It looked freaking beautiful. But for your tow truck, guys, a 16 ton 2024 Packard Peterbilt. And rental trailer we used back and forth to Bloomsburg, did great. The X Edition towed that crew cab long bed like a dream. So we do have these ready for weekly rental. Normally they have the fenders on them. The fenders are off because the truck was so wide. But for those that also think that there's nothing these days that you can tow and haul and carry your boat and your kids and everything else, the X Edition. All right, while we're over here, the big Suburban has been asked about a lot. There also was one a fella in Texas had named Zach, very similar to this. This is not the same. His was a Cummins. It did have 44s and it was a pretty big truck, but this is not the same truck. Two totally different vehicles, but very similar color scheme, very popular color scheme. Actually, that blue with white and the dark blue with white is just a beautiful color scheme in general. We do have the little cheap hunting truck F-150. It is on the website. It's not much to it, but it is a very inexpensive truck. And then we are wrapping up this black and white 1 ton so we can ship to the new owner. Just got to finish the seat up and it's headed his way. So that's the next one on the punch list to get shipped out. And plenty of commercial trucks, and we're doing some tire and wheel organization. So we got that back section that's got to get organized. It is just out of hand. But when tires and wheels are coming on and off daily, not so much with the big trucks, but with the regular trucks, you know, you might have a truck we're putting 6 new tires on and 2 of them might be almost brand new. So of course we save them and we have them in the wrong place and we got to go organize them. Sometimes we upsize the truck from 38s to 40s, and then we end up with some almost like new tires. So organizing that stuff at this moment. And there are the mirrors that we lost, that we did not have to put under the SEMA Blazer for the show. There they are. All right, so if the suspense is killing you, here's the answer. This is a PTO-driven winch. If you look right there, you can see the shaft coming into it. Big old Ramsey PTO winch, like a tow truck would have. And then it has a PTO shaft running back from that to basically like a hanger bearing going back to the transmission. Now, some people guess transfer case operated PTO, but it's not. It's actually the 465 manual 4-speed transmission with granny low going into the transmission and a 205 transfer case. So pretty neat how that works. And that little, again, Alvin's got some cleaning to do, but you can see the grease fitting right there, the grease little hanger bearing. and it works. I engaged the engaged the PTO, and it does work. So there's your fun fact. I don't know that I've only seen but one other with a PTO driven, and it was actually, I could be wrong thinking back, it had nothing on the front. I believe it used to run some sort of a hydraulic snowplow, but it ended at the front. It was really strange. It was behind the bumper, nothing up front. It looked like somebody put a bumper on it and just tucked that away. That's the only other one I've ever seen before, but pretty cool stuff. PTO driven, not that a K30 Washington State West Coast truck's not cool enough with all of its small components. Somebody's even replaced some of them recently. In place is not cool enough, but that PTO driven winch that works is pretty freaking cool. And you can run all kinds of other things too. But this truck, we got to run through the process. I'm not sure how far we're going to go with it, or if we're just going to leave it kind of as a less expensive unit. But we are going to pull the cap off. We're going to leave the winch system. Probably swap out tires and wheels for something a little different and a little bit more correct for the truck. Looks like about 6 inches of lift. And Alvin's going to get the detail done. So see you guys tomorrow.